What's up, gang? Hey, man, this video is going to be a banger. Make sure you watch this until the very end because I've just pounded with gold nuggets. Also, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you have not done so already, jump into the CLG community. You get a 7-day free trial. Link is in the comments. Link is in the description. Link is everywhere. 7 days free. Test it out. See if you like it. Learn as much as you possibly can. And then it's only $48 a month after that. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video.
I think men, we are to blame for this, though. I think that's what hoflation, the concept, is about, is that women are so inundated with male attention, heterosexual women are so inundated with male attention, often that they didn't even ask for or want, that they just get this elevated sense of self-worth that is so far beyond what their actual tangible worth in the economy of relationship would be. And it's usually characterized by when you say things like, well, what do you bring to the table? And you get a response like, well, I am the table, which doesn't even make sense as a metaphor.
I think he was genuine in his assessment, but I don't necessarily agree. In a sense, like I don't agree 100%. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he's trying to say that men are to blame. I don't believe that men are to blame, because I believe that if men were naturally men, for the most part, you know, minus the excessive violence, if men were naturally men, everything would be balanced, just like it was back in the day. When men were naturally men, everything would be balanced, just like it was back in the day, for the most part. And what I mean by balanced is the majority of women would naturally be submissive. They would understand that the man is the superior, because the man would act like the superior. Does that make sense? So if you go back in the day, right, and sometimes you guys can find this. I don't know if I tell you guys not to watch corn or nothing like that, but if you just wanted to watch corn for educational purpose, if you go back to the vintage corn, for the most part, like the old stuff, even the corn stars were more submissive than the new age corn stars. You get what I'm trying to say? So what I'm trying to tell you is, I don't believe that men are the problem. I believe media was the problem. And I realized that Americans, or whoever runs the world, right? Whoever actually runs the world. I don't know if it's Americans. I don't know if it's the Jews. I don't know who actually runs the U.S. But I'll let you guys look into that, and I'll let you guys make that assumption. But whoever runs the U.S., they realized a very long time ago that media is extremely powerful. So what happened is the media started pumping out all of this misinformation to men to get the majority of men to act out of character. Because I don't think giving a woman attention is bad. I believe giving a woman too much non-sexual attention is bad. For example, back in the day, when a guy thought a woman was attractive, he did what he naturally wanted to do. He went up to that woman because he knew he wanted to sleep with the woman. And it wasn't really much games, and it wasn't really much hidden, and it wasn't really much going above and beyond with no sexual favors in return. There was not really much of that. Maybe there was. I doubt it. I'm talking about, and this is the further and further you go back in history, right? These guys, they knew what they wanted. They went for what they wanted, and guess what? If they didn't get what they wanted, there was no more back and forth with the chick. You get where I'm coming from? If you're not doing what I want you to do, you're not getting no money out of me. You're not getting no more attention out of me. You're not getting my presence. You're not getting my emotional stability. You're not getting none of that if I can't get what I want. And I believe the men of the past knew what they wanted. But I believe the men of today are confused by the media as to what they want. They don't know what they want. You feel me? And the ones that do know what they want, and they watch others get destroyed by going after what they want, it tames them. Because another way the media can control you is they can make an example out of somebody else. So, for example, if you were a slave owner, right? and you had these slaves working for you for free. And the slaves are starting to get a little buck. They're starting to fight back. Well, one of the ways that you can control the slaves is you take the biggest, strongest slave and you make him an example to let the other ones know, this is what I'll do to you if you stay out of line. And they watch what happened to that slave and they stay in line. It's the same thing that happens with the media and how they try to control men. You'll get a man that is, thinking he's being himself, going after what he wants, whatever the case is. The media will take that man and then they'll Me Too him, or they'll cancel that man, or they'll, have the whole world talk down on that man, or whatever the case is. And then they'll tell you, see, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be like that man. And on top of the media, you also have to understand that women give the worst advice. But here's the thing. The majority of people that a man has to go through in order to get through manhood is actually women. So what I mean by that is nowadays, because of the wage gaps and everything like that, men have to work a lot more, meaning that they're not even the ones that want to be present in the home. They aren't as present as they should be. So the child, who is a boy, is being raised by his mother. And guess who his teachers are? Most teachers are actually females. So now you're only getting female point of view, 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 female point of view. And now that is inherently making you more feminine without you even knowing. So is the men to blame, or is it the media to blame? And then you have the media on top of that doubling down on it. So in a sense, this is why I say I don't agree with him 100%, because he wants to put the blame all on men, but I'm going to put the blame on media. But then because the media is so powerful in affecting the men and is causing the men to act like this, then yes, obviously the men would be to blame. That's why I agree with him a little bit. The men would be to blame because of the effect of the media. And media is extremely powerful. A lot of guys, when you really want to level up, and I find myself doing this too, is a lot of times you have to unplug from the mainstream media in order to level up. Because I noticed when I was plugged into the mainstream media, I was feminine, I was this, I was... I wasn't, let's say I wasn't myself. I notice now when I unplug from the mainstream media, for the most part, you can't run away from it. You feel me? But when I unplug from the mainstream media and I get independent education, I notice that I become a lot more masculine. I feel more masculine. My testosterone is boosted. I don't consume too much corn. I work out. You feel me? I do these things that make me more masculine, that change my mind, my brain wavelengths to even naturally be more masculine. It's things that I do with women that I just naturally do. Now, that when I was younger, I didn't naturally do those things. But you gotta understand, when I was younger, I was getting played by women. Because I was doing what the media told me, the mainstream media told me was right. But that's when the women were playing me. But now that I'm Mr. Asshole, everybody hates me. Because you gotta understand, my main chick, she was supposed to come back today. She's still texting me. She's like, I'm not gonna come back today. I want you to fly to Minnesota and come get me. I'm not going to do that. You feel me? I'm not going to do that. So basically I said, call me. That's all I'm texting her is, call me, call me, call me. She said, I don't want to call you because you need to come to Minnesota and talk to my dad and get me back. Since I've already packed my stuff and everything like that. Because, so now she wants to play hardball. Now she wants to draw a line in the sand. But remind you, she's still keeping the door open. Why is that? Why is that? It's because women love men. They love men who act like men. They will tell you that they hate it. They will tell you that they hate competition, and another girl hitting on a man, another girl sucking a man dick, and another girl throwing pussy on a man, they'll tell you that they hate it, but their body will respond differently. For example, now this is going to be personal, but it's the truth. There was a time where the last time my main chick left is because I was caught in California with another chick that I was sleeping with. My main chick packed all her stuff. She left by the time I got back to Minnesota. And I seen all her stuff gone or whatever the case is. But she always leaves something, just like she did now. She always leaves something, so she has to come back. And she left a bunch of stuff. So she decided to come back to my apartment and be like, oh, I forgot these couple things and da-da-da, so I got to come pick them up. When she came back to my apartment, now remind you, we're broken up. When she came back to my apartment, we actually ended up hooking up. When I tell you, she was the wettest that she has ever been in her life from that hookup scene. When I tell you, her body was responding completely different than what her words were saying. Her words were saying, I was a piece of shit. She hates me. She hopes that I die. She was talking crazy. You feel me? Because she found out I was with another girl, and she was just ripping into me. But when she came back to pick up the rest of her stuff, you know what I mean? Her body just responded crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm talking about just coming everywhere. Her body just couldn't help it. And that's what I always tell you guys. When men are men, and men are gonna be men, right? My mom loves my real dad still to this day. She talks, if a woman has nothing but praise about a man that she's dealing with, she's probably not really that obsessed with the man. I've seen it with my mother. My stepfather, she has a lot of praise for my stepfather. But she does not love my stepfather like she loves my real father. But when she talks about my real father, all she does is talk shit. She said, oh, he just a hoe. Oh, he just a player. Oh, all he do is this and this. Oh, he cheated on me when we was together, right? You know this, right? He used to make me sell drugs for him. He used to make me do this. But if she was to see my real father in person, still to this day, her heart would drop. And she knows it. And she told me that before. She said, I'm going to be real with you, Jay. She said, your father was always my real love. And you got to also understand that my mother, and this is God honest truth, and I'm only telling you guys truth. My mother kept my real father's last name. So even when she married my stepfather, she hyphenated the name. She kept my real father's name and then hyphenated with my stepfather's last name. And her reasoning for doing so was because her first son had that last name and she didn't want to change that. But she didn't care for my middle sister's father. She didn't care for her at all. She didn't care for him at all. She don't want nothing to do with that guy. You get what I'm trying to say? But my real father, the one that went to prison and all that stuff like that, and my mom tells me, that was her first true love. That was the guy she truly loved. And you got to understand, that will stick with her to the day she dies. Once a girl has truly loved you, you feel me? That'll stick with you till they die. And me and my father were actually talking on the phone. And this is crazy. My father says this kind of crazy stuff. My father was like, who's she gonna leave you for? Like, I was telling my father about my main chick situation, and he was like, who's she gonna leave you for? And my father said, he said this. He said, I bet you the men that her sisters are with are not even a quarter a version of a man that you are. They probably, this is his words. I didn't say this. You know what I mean? I didn't officially agree with him or nothing. Well, I kind of did a little bit. But he was like, I was like, nah, I said, one of them don't got a man. And then I said the other one, he not like me. And he was like, yeah, he probably a pussy. This is my father's words. My father said he probably a pussy. You feel me? So I said, my father was like, so you don't got nothing to worry about. She gonna go back to her family. She gonna see her sister's man. He's a pussy. She gonna see the other sister ain't got a man. You the realest thing she has ever had in her life. That's just not something she can just walk away from. Because he said, you got my blood in you. You a man's man. You feel me? Even though I didn't raise you, I know my blood pumped through you. You gonna be a man's man. You gonna stand on business, especially when it come to women. My father said this. And me and my father didn't raise me. we rarely ever talk. Like, you know what I mean? We got some conversations that we have in the CLG community. You know what I mean? We have some interviews that we do inside of the community and things like that. But he didn't raise me. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, he didn't actually, like, you feel me? He wasn't in my life. But it's so weird that our similarities are so, you feel me? Like we have so many similarities. But here's the thing. My father, because of the time that he grew up in, where there was just naturally less media, there's naturally less social media, there's naturally... The men back then were actually a lot more masculine than the men of today. So my father is even a more masculine version of myself. My father was outside all the time. My father was running around, fucking girls behind trees and stuff. This is natural. This is naturally what men do. My father was able to dunk a basketball at the same height as me. Because there was just higher levels of testosterone back in the day, because nothing was stopping men from being men. There was nothing turning men down. There was nothing, you feel me? There was nothing slowing these men down. Now, yes, this is the thing about when you become a man's man, is yes, violence increases. So, for example, if my father did not go to prison, he would most likely be dead. At a very young age, too. He would have most likely died probably in his 20s. Early 20s, too. And the reason for it is because my dad went to prison. And he went to prison for 14 years, got deported back to Jamaica. Everybody in his crew died. Like I said, once blood is shed once, it never ends. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. That's what I always try to tell guys. Okay, we can still be men with women. We can still have women obsessed with us. That doesn't mean that we have to do everything the men of the past did. Because you got to understand, with very high levels of testosterone, there's a lot more risk-taking, and there's a lot more violence. Let's just put it like that. What I'm trying to turn you guys into in the CLG communities, I'm trying to turn you into a man 2.0. You feel me? Because you got to understand, girls don't really care how you how you act amongst other men for the most part, right? Don't be a bitch around other men. Don't let no man blatantly disrespect you in front of your woman without checking him, because then she's going to lose respect for you. But what I mean by that is, for the most part, you ain't got to act over the top hard. Nothing like with your boys, you can cut up, whatever the case is. As long as there's no disrespect between you and your boys, you can laugh shit off, whatever the case is, right? You know what I mean? If it's just, and you gotta see, guys, we understand the difference between talking shit and disrespect. You feel me? I play basketball all the time. There's a lot of guys that just talk shit. Like, if they're on the opposite team of me, we just talk shit to each other the whole game. Nigga, fuck you, nigga, you ain't shit. Da-da-da. After the game, hey man, good shit. Whoever win, we don't give a fuck. Hey, good shit, nigga, good game. You feel me? But we really genuinely fuck with each other. But in the lines of competitiveness, we just talking shit. But the shit talking don't never get disrespectful. It don't never get nasty. It just, yeah, nigga, yeah, that's why you passed the ball, nigga. Yeah. You don't want this smoke. It's more of like, and from the outside looking in, it can seem a little bit fucking disrespect, but it ain't. It's just men being men. But disrespect is different. Disrespect is where you really mean something, and it's the thing about men. Men don't handle disrespect well, and a lot of times when men get a little too much disrespect from another man, it usually ends in death. Let's just be honest. Even back in the day, and back in the gangster days, or whatever the case is, it usually does end in death. Like when two men get hot and heated. Now, when two girls get hot and heated, it's just a psychological warfare to the end of time. Nobody dying. Even for the most part, you know, girls don't kill girls like that because they don't have the levels of testosterone we have. When two men is in disagreements, violence usually happens. So this is the only thing. So what I'm trying to say is, you can still be a man, but you can be a man 2.0. You get what I'm trying to say? I understand. I try to keep my cool with a man that I'm talking to the best that I can, because I know when a flip switches in my head, I don't care if I die. So I try to keep that flip from switching. I definitely don't try to do it over the internet. If it's some internet shit, I don't give a fuck, because the thing about the internet is, I can't get my hands on you I'm never really gonna lose my cool too much on the internet with another man, because it's like, bruh, it's through a computer screen. Like, you know what I mean? But in person, if it's disrespect, I try to avoid it for the most part. I'd be like, hey, bruh, just don't talk to me like that. Like, I'm not the one for that. You feel me? Most people can tell with my eye contact that, okay, if it gets up with this guy, one of us gonna die, or it ain't gonna be from lack of trying. Let's put it like that. Somebody gonna die. It ain't gonna be from lack of trying, unless somebody breaks it up and prevents death some way, somehow. Because I know when that flip switch for me, it's just I can't turn it back. So me knowing that about myself, I always try to keep the peace and respect. You feel me? I might even let some disrespect go. I won't let it go. I will call it out. I'll be like, hey, bro, just, you know what I mean? I ain't on that with you right now. Just chill with all that. You know what I mean? I might let it kind of go a little bit. But for the most part, if it keep coming, you feel me? And we in person, yes, that's the downside of being a man. But I also say, I teach CLG, you got to be willing to die for something as a man. You feel me? And the thing is, a lot of men nowadays, they not willing to die for nothing. They ain't got no backbone. You got to be willing to die for something. Now, the thing with me is my respect. Another thing that I'm willing to die for is if somebody harms my innocent child because they're innocent. You get what I'm trying to say? Or if somebody tries to harm my main chick. You feel me? Because now you're not disrespecting. Well, you kind of are disrespecting me by coming at my family, but now it's bigger than me, right? You know what I mean? It's just something that's innate in us. My father has it. We just have this gene that is just like, I'm willing to sacrifice this human life for respect. You feel me? Especially when it comes to even stuff, because I'm a natural man. I'm a natural protector, whatever the case is. This shit just in me. I can't shake it. You feel me? I'd be lying if I said I couldn't. And there's some niggas that just don't give a fuck. They be like, man, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, you slap my man, bitch. You better fight back. I know some niggas is like that. That's that nigga moving to the beat of his own drum. It's just not in me. You feel me? Especially if I know that my kid is being attacked by somebody outside. You feel me? And I know my kid didn't do nothing wrong. My kid was just being a kid. Yeah, you got to see by me. And it ain't going to be friendly. You feel me? It ain't going to be friendly. So because I know that about myself, I try to keep that part of me subdued the best that I can. So what I try to teach the CLG guys is, hey, you got to understand, when I'm teaching you to be masculine, you don't have to bring the violence with it. Because I really want you guys to truly understand this, is if you bring the violence with it and you kill somebody, once one person dies, usually the killing never stops if they have capable men on that side too. For example, if you get up with somebody and you don't know how to de-escalate the situation, and you get to a point where you have to take another man's life, even if the police don't take you in, if that person has capable men on his side, whether it's his brother, whether it's his father, whether it's his cousins, the killing will never stop. You feel me? Like, once blood is shed, 9 times out of 10, it is war. You got people in the Middle East right now, they still beheading Americans based off of some stuff that Americans did to their people 10, 20, 30 years ago. You got to understand that. These ISIS groups, these groups that exist, they exist because of based off of stuff that Americans did to them years ago. You get what I'm trying to say? And there was a sniper that came out and said there was no weapons of mass destructions. He said they lied to me and sent me over there to kill all them guys. I killed a bunch of those guys. There were no weapons of mass destruction. It was oil and gold. That's all they had. They had oil and gold. That was greed. So you got to understand that. You got to understand that. I want you to be men, but keep the violence down. You feel me? Just be a man, especially around a woman. Be a man. Go for what you want. You feel me? Don't act like you trying to court her when you just trying to fuck her. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, Courting is a feminine thing within of itself. Every man should try to fuck as many women as humanly possible because that's what you're naturally built to do, and you should be unapologetic when you do it. It should be her job to court you. After she has given you that pussy, she should be trying to keep you. She should be doing everything in her power to try to keep you. A lot of people think that I should be mad at the girl from Dallas. And a lot of people, even my father said, that crazy ass white bitch cut her ass off. She did that shit on purpose. I never cussed the girl from Dallas out. And I'm not rewarding her behavior or nothing like that. I'm not bringing it to her attention. The reason why is because that is what she's supposed to do. Like, she's doing what she's supposed to do as a woman. I'm just fucking her. I let it be known that I'm just fucking her. She is trying to lock me down in a committed relationship. That is her job. How can I get mad at her for doing her job? See, I know women psychology so well. How can I be mad at her for doing her job? Her job is to lock me down. Even though I got a bitch, her job is to try to show me that she better than my bitch. Now, is she better than my bitch? Hell to the fuck no. You feel me? But she trying. She cooking. She waking a nigga up to blowjob. She fucking throwing pussy at a nigga. Now, she is a little bit she's a little bit more emotionally unstable than my main bitch, which is important to me because I like a girl that's a little bit more emotionally stable. You feel me? But she doing her job. When a nigga dropping dick in the bitch should be trying to lock him down in a relationship. It's actually masculine for you to be dropping dick in the bitch and she's not trying to pursue a relationship. I get bitches like that too. I get bitches that drop dick in and they try to play it cool. They try to sit back and wait for me to hit them up, and they try to fucking sit back, and then when you do hit them up, like, what took you so long? Da, da, da. Like, they trying to play the masculine role like I'm supposed to be chasing a relationship. Bitch, I got the pussy. I got what I wanted out of it. And I'm hitting you up again to get some more pussy. You understand where I'm coming from? So you gotta truly understand, like, how most we get mad at the girl for doing what the fuck she's supposed to be doing. She's supposed to be trying to get the relationship. I'm not gonna give her that shit, but that's what she's supposed to fucking do. You get what I'm trying to say? And to be honest, I'm gonna be real with you. Women need a little fucking turmoil every now and again. They do. If you don't give your bitch a little turmoil every now and again, she cannot respect you. She can't. If you Mr. Safe, nice guy, show up, do this, do everything right all the time, she can't respect you, bro. You ain't giving her nothing to respect. You Mr. fucking Reliable. You know what they say about Mr. Reliable? He's boring. You know my main chick? She's a good girl. There are baseball players, bigger, stronger, whatever, tried to hit on her. She would always say the same thing. Why didn't you get that dude a shot? She's like, he was attractive, but he was just boring. He wasn't like you. That's what they say when Mr. Predictable, they call that nigga boring. Mr. don't know how to fucking move to the beat of his own drum. By you moving to the beat of your own drum and being selfish is gonna spike her emotions anyways. I'm gonna tell you why. Because women are naturally controlling. Anything that a woman calls you, just understand that she's really talking about herself. Women have always called me controlling, which I am the opposite of. But the reason why women call men controlling is because they are the most controlling fucking gender on the planet. When they are with you, they want to control everything about you. You'll be single, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Once you get a girl, she'll be like, why you staying out late? Why you doing this? 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 They are way more controlling than men. That's why when Myron starts talking like that, like, I don't let my girl get on Instagram. I don't let her. Women see that as feminine behavior because that's how females act. Females are controlling. Men are free-spirited motherfuckers. Think about it. Let's be honest. If you really a man's man, I don't check my bitch. I wouldn't have found a note in my bitch's fucking bag. I wouldn't have unpacked it. I don't check my bitch's phone. The only way if any of my bitches was fucking another guy, the only way I would know is if they fucking told me. I'm too busy fucking other bitches. I ain't got time to check her shit. So I can't be controlling. I'm too busy being a man. I'm too busy out and about. I be out till 4 o'clock in the morning. You think a nigga could have slide over and drop some dick? I wouldn't fucking know unless something blatant. Unless I walked in the house and the nigga left his drawers there or some shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Women are the controlling ones. That's why when they see a man that's controlling, they think it's feminine behavior. When they see a man that's always in the mirror, they think that's feminine. Yes, I tell guys, foundation, clean yourself up, make sure make sure you smell good, whatever, put that shit on. But bitch, you ain't never gonna catch me in the mirror fucking lacing up my eyebrows and doing a skin facial routine and shit. I mean, if you guys is into that, do your thing. Looks max, whatever the case is. But I'm just gonna let you know from a woman's perspective, she's gonna see that as feminine. But if she has high respect for you, you can lose respect every now and again. You can have little notches if the respect is really high. But you gotta understand, I done fucked girls where they done had them pretty boy boyfriends, like them niggas that look like supermodels, them niggas, and them bitches told me they niggas be in the mirror more than them, and they hate that shit. This is, y'all be surprised. Women will fuck an ugly dude. They don't give a fuck, bro. They don't give a fuck. It's not always who the best looking for them. I know you think that she like what you like, so you put your thoughts on her, but the thing is, once you try to be what you think she like, you become feminine. You get what I'm trying to say? The only thing a man thinks about is what he likes. I like that. I need to get that. You feel me? You get what I'm trying to say? I want to fuck the shit out of that bitch. These are the thoughts that go through my motherfucking head. I don't sit around and be like, oh, I hope she's a good wife. I don't think that when I first see a girl. I don't think none of that shit. I think, how does them guts feel? I bet them titties perking in the motherfucker. I bet that pussy nice and pretty. That's how I think when I motherfucking see a girl. You get what I'm trying to say? And I act on my actions and I don't deviate from who I am truly. But when you get the guy that's controlling and like, when I get a girl, I tell her she can't be on Instagram. She can't do this. She can't do this. That's feminine behavior. That's actually feminine behavior if you really think about it. Because a real man too busy getting pussy any motherfucking ways to worry about what his bitch doing. He already picking up on signs to see what type of bitch she is anyways. You feel me? He know from her past. When she was single, she was fucking everybody. So he knows she ain't no motherfucking main bitch, bitch. So he not gonna try to put her in that role in the first place. He not gonna put her in the main bitch category to ruin his reputation in the first place. But I'm trying to tell you, guys, a lot of these guys y'all follow on YouTube, they was never like that. They was nerdy fucks. And they just happened to have a really, really strong work ethic and they blew up on YouTube. They never was like that. Most of these YouTubers aren't like that. Every blue moon, there'll be one that's like that. But majority of them is not like that because I know these niggas in real life. They was nerdy fucks. You got to understand. Think about what type of person is you got to be. You've been behind a computer since you was 17. Bitch, I was outside, nigga. It's hard for me to do these motherfucking videos because as soon as I get done doing this and get my business, I'm outside, motherfucker. Think about that. You can't be like that if you ain't outside in the field. Like, you just can't. What you seeing? You going off of media? Most of that shit bullshit. You get what I'm trying to say? That's how come I find the specific content that I react to, because I know the real from the wrong. So all the content that I know bullshit, man, I scroll through that because I'm in the field for real. So I know that content bullshit. Man, that's bullshit. Man, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. How you gonna be able to reference it if you ain't in the field? How come the people that's in the field, they be like, damn, CJ, you be right. The niggas, all the CLG niggas that's actually in the field, they be like, damn, nigga, you shit. Nigga, I be talking to these hoes, nigga, you be right. Because I'm in the field, nigga. You feel me? I'm in the field. I'm actively in the field, for real. So that's my little 2 cents on that video, man. At the end of the day, he does have a point, but the main thing is the media, the mainstream media. Most of you guys were brainwashed by the mainstream media since you was born. And it's sad because, you're trying to unlearn it in such a short period of time. You're trying to unlearn, 20, 30 years of misinformation, and you're trying to unlearn it in a year. And it's tough. You feel me? It's tough because it's going against everything that you was taught. But trust me, man, if you can stick with it, good things will come. And if you haven't done so already, jump into the COG community. 7-day free trial. All of my work is in there. And you get a free one-on-one call with me. You feel me? You get in, you DM me, we set up a one-on-one. I help you with what you specifically need help with that's going on in your life that you need help with. And you get advice directly from me. So, with that being said, man, I'm out. Peace.